In this video, I'm going to be walking you through how you can be focusing more, making more money, and having more energy throughout the day. What's going on, guys? I'm Ravi, Abuvala, founder of Scaling with Systems, and one of the most common mistakes or common obstacles I see most entrepreneurs when they're just getting started or in the middle of scaling their business is decision fatigue. And what do I mean by decision fatigue? They have so many choices and decisions that they have to make every single day in both their personal and their professional life that by the time it gets around to making some of the more difficult decisions, which are a lot of times some of the most important ones, they have no energy left. And that's when I start to see procrastination creeping up. And instead of making that decision, they are so exhausted from making previous decisions that they just revert back to one of the easiest things they can do, like scrolling on social media or watching TV or getting up and leaving work altogether. So in this video, I just want to walk you through how I virtually eliminated decision fatigue in my life, how you can do it for yourself as well, and then what that can lead to later down in the line, and I'll give you specific examples, so stay with me until the end. All right, so first of all, what is decision fatigue? And obviously, as the name implies, it just means that you are so exhausted by making so many decisions throughout the day. So the question becomes, is decision fatigue bad? And there are many studies that back up what I'm going to be telling you here, but essentially, yes, decision fatigue is bad because there have been studies that have shown that willpower is finite, meaning our ability to make decisions and choose the things that we want to do or we know that we should do decreases throughout the day. Our ability to make those decisions decrease throughout the day because of all of the decisions that we're making. I can't remember the specific study that essentially blew this wide open, but it had something to do with putting two different groups of children in a room. One group was just told, hey, don't eat these cookies in the middle of this table right here. And the other group were told, don't eat these cookies in the middle of the table right here. But first they had to solve some complex like Sudoku or math problem. At the end of the study, it showed that the children who had no decisions that they had to make beforehand, no complex thinking that they had to do in that first group, had no issues whatsoever not eating those cookies. But the group number two, the second group that had to do that complex math equation beforehand, well, they were much more likely, I forgot what the actual numbers, but much more likely to actually end up eating those cookies even though they knew they shouldn't or they weren't supposed to because their brain was so exhausted from making all of those decisions in that math problem. For those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, you're probably like, Ravi, what the hell does cookies and children have to do with entrepreneurships and scaling a business? Well, they're actually really similar. And no, not just because most entrepreneurs act like children, but because most entrepreneurs spend their mornings or their day consumed by very tiny, minute details or decisions they have to make in their life that by the time they come to making the big decisions like, should I start a YouTube channel or should I create paid ads or should I create a sales letter or should I hire or fire this employee, their brain is so exhausted that they just revert to doing the same silly stuff that everybody else does, like posting on social media, scrolling on social media aimlessly, watching TV, etc., etc. Honestly, I really attribute my ability to make very tough decisions quickly as one of the main reasons why I've created an 8-figure business in just a few years. And so what you should be paying attention to what I'm saying here is, where are you experiencing decision fatigue in your life or in your business? And let me give you some examples here. Most entrepreneurs, whenever they wake up in the morning, they just open up their phone, they open up Instagram, they open up their email, and they're immediately just had the world thrown at them before they've even had any time to process anything or think creatively at all. Then after they've exhausted a good bit of energy aimlessly scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever else it is, then they get up and they walk over to their closet and they look at hundreds of clothes that they have, a bunch of different shirts, designers, bunch of different pants, socks, whatever else it is. And then they have to start thinking, what do I wear today? What matches what? Should I wear this shirt, these pants, whatever else it is? And that then exerts energy as well. Then they walk over and, although we eat 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day, depending on if you fast or not, every single day, every day of our lives, they come to the breakfast, they come to their kitchen and they're like, oh, wow, I guess I have to eat today. That's a shocker. Well, let me spend another 10 to 15 minutes thinking about what am I going to eat, and then once I'm done with it, cleaning it up. And then after they're done eating and cleaning things up, then they go around to their business and they sit down and then do they start working on that one difficult thing they need to get done for the day? No. Instead, what they do is they open up their Slack or they open up their email and they just hurl themselves in the business world and just have all those problems and issues come at them. And next thing they do, they look at their, time on their computer and they go, oh my God, it's 11:30. What am I going to do for lunch today? Well, let me think about where I can go to lunch. I can go to this place. I can go to Chipotle. Well, I don't really want to go to Chipotle. I want to go here instead. Then they decide to go there. Should I walk there? Should I drive there? Then they go there. What should I get when I get there? Oh, I want to get the burrito bowl. I want to get a burrito. Okay, good. Then they finish it. They come back to work and they go, oh, what do I need to do? I need to start back on work again. Let me get back on Slack and email. And then by the time 2, 3, 4 o'clock rolls around, you're like, oh yeah, I needed to figure out, I needed to shoot those ads today, or I've really been meaning to shoot this YouTube video. Their brain is so exhausted by all of these decisions that they've had to make that they just choose not to do it. And they blame it and they chalk it up to, oh, I've had such a long day, or oh man, I've been grinding 12, 14-hour days. When in reality, they've just been spending all of their energy doing stupid shit instead of focusing on the one main thing as soon as you wake up in the morning and getting that out of the way while you have the willpower. Now, maybe what I said just pissed you off because maybe that's something that you do every single day, but listen to me because I was in the exact same position. So let's talk about what the, silver lining is. What is the light at the end of the tunnel? How do we change from this robotic, making 150 decisions that aren't even important throughout the day, only to ignore the most important decision throughout the day, life that we're living in? I'm going to tell you about what I do every single day and how I limit decision fatigue. So a few things right off the bat here. Number one, I fast for about 18 hours every single day. So I only eat lunch and dinner every single day. That means that in the morning, when I'm most creative, when I have the most energy, I don't even think about breakfast. Breakfast is not something that I even consider. I don't have to worry about what I'm eating, how am I going to clean it up, where I'm going to go, any of that. I just don't eat breakfast. So that's the first thing that I've done. I've eliminated that decision in my life, not only for the health benefits, but also for the ability for me to have more energy and focus on the things that I want to do that actually move the needle forward. Second thing that I do, and this is the benefit that I have and a lot of my clients have from working home or working online, is that I pretty much wear the same clothes every single day. If you look at my YouTube videos, I'm pretty much wearing a Scaling with Systems shirt every single day. And maybe you're thinking, oh, he just puts that on for the YouTube videos. But no, I literally just have a closet of 7 or 8 Scaling with Systems shirts right there, and I just cycle through wearing those every single day. I wear the same pants or the same shorts. I just pretty much have 5 different colored t-shirts, and I have 3 different color pants, and I have a few different shoes and 1 color socks, and I pretty much wear that every single day. It's as simple as that. I don't spend any energy thinking about what am I going to wear, how am I going to wear it, does it fit, how does it look, whatever else it is. And if it goes 1 week or 2 weeks or a month and I've noticed that I haven't worn a shirt or whatever in a while, I just give it away. I donate it to charity because that's one less thing I have to look at or think about as I'm doing my morning routine. Another way that I eliminate decision fatigue in my life is the night before the workday, I actually will write down in my journal right here, and you can see it says YouTube videos right here. I will write down in my journal the top 3 things that I want to get done that day. And I have a whole morning routine video that I'll link in the description down below. You guys can check out. But that means that when I sit down in my computer and to start work that day, I already know exactly what I need to do. I don't need to think for even 1 second, what do I need to do that day? It's written down right here. And it's only 3 things, and it's 3 main things. And because of that, I'm able to just nail that out quickly. And the other really great part about it is I don't have to pull up my calendar. I don't have to pull up Slack. I don't have to pull up anything that might just distract me from my ability to execute these things to get them done. Because let's say in the morning, I'm like, oh, what is this to-do list I need to do? Well, let me pull up my phone. It's in my notes on my phone of what the to-do list I need to do. Well, I open my phone. Well, most people have a million notifications on their phone. I have 0 notifications turned on my phone, and I can recommend you guys do the same thing. Not one notification comes on my phone. But most people open their phone, they look at their notes, and while they're trying to go to their notes, oh, there's that big blaring red light on your SMS, your text messages, maybe on Instagram, maybe on Facebook, maybe on your clothing apps, whatever else it is. Oh, come check this out. Oh, come check that out. Next thing you know, it's been 20 minutes later. You haven't even started that one thing yet, and you're scrolling aimlessly on your phone. So I just like the old-fashioned pen and paper. I put it right here. So when I sit down for the day, the first thing that I have written on here is YouTube videos, and it is about 8 a.m. on a Saturday, and that is the first thing that I'm getting done. Which brings me to the next point, which is focus on the one thing. So there's a great book out there called The One Thing, I think by Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams. And what they pretty much say is that you should focus every single day on spending 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours on doing the one thing in your life or in your business that makes all things easier. So what's the one decision that you can make today to make all of your decisions easier down the line? And I'll give you a few examples of it. Number 1, a while ago, I decided to hire an executive assistant. That one decision prevented me from making hundreds or thousands of decisions throughout a year. Like, what airline am I going to fly, or what hotel am I going to stay at, or where do I get my my car from, or should I get my car washed today, or should I respond to emails? That one decision I made by spending some time finding and interviewing an executive assistant gave me the ability to no longer make decisions down the line. Another great example of one thing that I actually help my clients do is build a sales letter or a sales funnel for their business. So most people spend an exuberant amount of energy and time warming up people, educating them, getting them ready, trying to convince them to get on a sales call, getting on the sales call, going through the sales process. And it's a silly amount of time that goes by and a silly amount of effort, where if they just sat down and built a sales funnel or a sales letter, that thing that costs you $97 a month could just do all of that for you 24/7, 365. You don't have to pay it any more money. It doesn't get tired. And then you're just getting a packed calendar every single day. But most people say, I don't have time to write a sales letter. I don't have time to shoot a sales video, whatever else it is. So instead, they spend all of their time doing the inefficient thing every single day versus just spending a little bit time up front creating the sales letter that can massively leverage and increase the amount of money that you're collecting through your sales funnel or through your back end. And the final few ways that I eliminate decision fatigue are meal preps. So I don't even think about what I'm eating every single day. 5 days a week, I have somebody deliver meals to my front door, and they deliver 2 clean, healthy keto meals. I walk from my front door to my fridge, which is about 10 feet. I put them inside of there. And then when it comes time for lunch, what I do is my girlfriend makes me my smoothies. My meal prep company makes me my lunch. I walk from my office at 12 o'clock every single day, 10 feet around the corner, put the stuff in the microwave, blend the smoothie, and within 15, 20 minutes, I have eaten the meals, I have cleaned them up because I just throw it away, it's super easy, and I'm back to work again. No thinking, no worrying, none of that stuff is involved. And also because I'm using a meal prep company, they're cooking better meals and cleaner meals than I could even do by myself. So when I sit down to start working again, I have energy. I'm not sluggish from eating something, cheap or something that I whipped up on my own time. And my final piece of advice for you is just say no, or just ignore them, okay? This is something that I struggled with for a very long time, as I am somewhat of a people pleaser, although I might not come across it on my YouTube channel, and I really cared about what other people thought of me. But one of the things that really, really helped me on my decision fatigue is just saying no. As soon as somebody says something that I'm like, I don't know if I should do this thing or not, I just say no immediately. Because what usually ends up happening is, let's say somebody invites you, I don't know, to go out for drinks on a Saturday night and it's Monday. And you say yes just because you want to be a people pleaser and you want to take care of them. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're just thinking, at least for me, I'm just thinking in the back of my mind the whole time, like, oh my God, I should have said no. I should have said no. Why did I say yes? I don't even want to do this, but I want to be a nice person. And it's just eating away at my mental energy every single day. When if I just said yes in the very beginning, I wouldn't have wasted any energy or time on it. And I know that it would have been the right answer. Yet most people are so terrified of saying no for hurting the other person. But in the end, you're really just, you're sacrificing yourself. You're hurting yourself, which I always thought was really ironic. And the other thing that I talked about was ignoring. So I'm not saying that be disrespectful to people, but for example, I get hundreds and hundreds of emails every single day. And I even have my executive assistant. She filters through all of them and she responds back to 98% of them, but still there's like 2% of them that come through and I have to answer. Well, a lot of the times, unless it's something that's an emergency, which I've learned is almost never, like really never is ever an email can be an emergency for you, I just ignore it. Because if it's really important, it'll come back around again, or they'll follow up with it or something like that. But 9 times or 10 times out of 10, that thing, responding to that email, whatever that person wants from me, that consumption of my time, that consumption of my energy is not on my one thing list of things to do right here. So I can just ignore it and focus on that thing. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, why decision fatigue is absolutely terrible for you to have in your life if you're trying to experience any kind of personal or business development or growth, and how to eliminate it. Actual examples of what you should be focusing on in your life, like meal preps or, wearing the same clothes every single day or whatever else it is, so that you can focus your time and energy on doing those 2 to 3 things every day that move the needle forward. If you guys got value out of this video, please do me a quick favor, smash the like button, hit subscribe. And if you're interested in a little bit more of my trainings or anything I talk about as far as business growth or personal growth is concerned, the first 2 links in the description down below give you access to hours and hours of totally free content where you can consume and learn a little bit more about business or professional growth. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.
Get scratching.